Goddess, the King Advocate. Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. It is Melanated Monday. I'm going to give you all a few minutes to get in here. I'm already burning up profusely. I'll give you a minute to get in here so we can have some conversation tonight. I'm expecting to have some new people in, so I will give the rules, give all the shout outs, encourage you all to share your thoughts, your questions, your comments. Beloved, I appreciate you. Thanks for being on time. You know, I love that. We actually get started. Like I said, we're going to have some new people in tonight. I know. So I'm going to lay out the rules as soon as they show up. And then we're going to move forward from there. So tonight we are discussing how to love him into health. And that was put on my spirit today to do. You know, always just listen for guidance to see what it is I need to talk about and go from there. So it's going to be kind of real free flowing, as it always is. Might be a little bit more so tonight, as I'm not going to do a whole lot of my own speaking, but allow maybe more of a more serious conversation tonight, because it's necessary. So again, we're going to give people time to get in here, get themselves adjusted, and prepared for what I do, the way I do, what I do, when I do what I do. All right. So then give them a minute or two. I don't know what it is, like why people are not here at 9 o'clock. I post at 5 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like, I start on time, but nonetheless, you are here. I'm appreciative for those that show up on time. I'm appreciative of those that show up, period. Okay. I don't want to miss anybody, because once we actually get started, the shout outs will end until after the broadcast. I don't want to interrupt the flow of conversation with shouting out to everyone that shows up. So let yourself be known so I can say, well, I can say it anyway, regardless. Great rise, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Like I said, again, we're just waiting on folks to get in here so we can have conversation. I'm actually looking forward to answering questions today. People who have specific issues that they need to have addressed. We're doing that tonight. I hope to hear from the fellas tonight, because this is, I mean, it's always about you, but it's really, really about you tonight. So if you have something on your heart, in your mind, that you want to discuss, something's going on with your relationships or whatever, please make sure you share that with me, because I want to definitely address that and then start at 9 o'clock. So still waiting, because right now it's just us, I think, that I can see. I think somebody else over here on YouTube, but I can't really tell. So I am going to open up the phone lines tonight to give people an opportunity to call in and discuss some things that they prefer. I will open the phone lines up at like 9:30-ish, depending on how many folks we get in here tonight. I said sometimes it's easier to have the conversation than it is. See what say. Oh, it's repeating. Okay, who is that? Is that Val? Hey, Valerie. Hello, loved one. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. I hope all is well. I said we're going to be starting pretty shortly. So if you want to stay, please do, by all means. You're very welcome. Matter of fact, like I said, I'm going to start. If it's just us, it's just us. Anyway, the topic again is how to love him into heal. The call, I'll put it that way, to have this discussion. Again, I pay a lot of attention to people, and I pay close attention to men in particular that are in my circle some kind of way. It doesn't matter if it's professional or more intimate. What I know and notice is that men don't talk a lot. Men are actually much more emotional than women. They just don't express it. It's not expressed verbally. Women are more prone to listen to words. We're drawn to the pretty words. We're drawn to the things that are being said. We focus on how things sound to us. Like I said, women in particular, get more emotionally attached to the way words sound. And most of the time, it leads to a negative outcome because the information that is being said is missed, particularly if it's a truth or if it's a hard fact that will not coincide with how she wants to feel. She'll turn it off because it doesn't resonate with her feeling. Men, like I said, are more emotional. They're just less outwardly expressive, but you do it. So this is what I noticed. Okay, so when he brings up the conversation, or is trying to bring up conversation about it, and if the woman does not understand or needs a little bit more clarity as to what he's saying, what he's going through, trying to understand where he's at in his mind, if she's not quite clear after maybe one or two times of repeating what he said, not even necessarily changing the way he said it, but repeating what he says, he will say, "That's all right. It's all good. It's all good." That's not an all good. That does not mean that it's all good. It means that he's not able or willing, because it incites an emotion that he's not quite ready to deal with. He's not quite ready to accept that this thing even exists. He's not ready for that. So he becomes, he'll shut it down. But it's not, because basically the sentence, I can't even say it was a run-on sentence because it just stopped. What needed to be said, the information was not given. But it was shown by the shutdown. Okay, if that makes sense. The emotion was shown by the shutdown. And if a woman doesn't pay attention and doesn't persist in making it comfortable, let me say it that way, making it comfortable for him to continue in the conversation, to continue to express it in a way that she can understand it, where they can have a real conversation, it's going to be an argument. It's going to be a complete shutdown. He will eventually either walk away or turn off completely emotionally. He will completely detach. He will walk away from it. He will throw in the towel because she's not understanding it, or because she's trying to make him talk. She's trying to force him into a conversation that he was already trying to have, or that he's not ready to have. You said this is true and interesting. Right. Please, like I said, by all means, specifically the men, I really need your feedback for you. I'm not in your mind. I'm speaking based on observation and what's put into my spirit. I'm acknowledging all y'all that are with me right now, so I don't want to break up the conversation with the one-on-one acknowledgement, but I see you and I appreciate you. But let me know to ask. Please do so by all means. We have Phoenix. I see you, love. You said, "I am a man. I focus on self and give value to women." Peace. Like I said, men are a lot more emotional than women. You are inwardly expressing versus how a woman would outwardly express. Rob says, "We as men have a difficult time to express." Some men, absolutely. And a lot of that is based on stigma that's placed on men, because you all are looked at and expected to be these strong individuals. You're expected to be machines. You're expected, to just take in everything. And women, self included, I'm guilty of it, okay, have had a tendency to dismiss the fact that you all feel, that you all experience a sensation that affects you emotionally. You experience that, whether you say it or not, because your outward demeanor, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll get loud, we'll cry, we'll, turn our backs, we'll walk away, whatever that is, you will see what we feel. With you all, it's completely different. You don't speak it, but you shut it down. And if a woman does not understand how a man communicates when he's in his feelings, she'll miss it. She'll never experience the opportunity of his vulnerability, because he will never feel comfortable being that way with her. And this is why I say to men, you all have been put in a space where it's a lose-lose situation. Like I said, you've been taught from childhood, brush it off, walk away from that. Whatever it is, you're taught these things at a very early age. You're taught to dismiss anything that appears to be a feeling, anything that comes across as an emotional sensation. You're taught to dismiss that. You're taught not to acknowledge that it even happens, because it's not something that you're supposed to have. It's not something that you're supposed to do, because you're taught that. It makes you vulnerable, and being vulnerable as a man per society makes you weak. When they see this vulnerability in you, perpetuate what society has said. Oh, he weak. Oh, he punk. Oh, he's soft. Oh, he ain't. You know what I'm saying? It's perpetuated. It makes it worse. So now it's in your head. It's in your mind. You keep hearing this thing over and over again. It has become a truth to you. Your brain has received this as a truth. Your mind is processing this as a fact. You hold on to this and you respond accordingly. If I cry, if I act like I care, any of that, I'm a punk. I'm going to be looked at as a punk. I'm going to be looked at as soft. I'm going to be disrespected by the men in society, and I'm going to be disrespected by the women, because a woman don't want no soft ass man. So either way, you all got put into a lose-lose situation. How do we fix that? How do we fix that? This is the part right now where this is a question to the men. How do we fix that? Because it's not for the woman to fix you. Let me repeat that. It's not for the woman to fix you. We cannot fix you. Even if you are broken, what we can do is help you, give you the support to put them back together. But we can't fix you. And a lot of times women have that that thought and that push. Well, I'm gonna change him. I'm gonna fix him. I'm gonna do that. And when it doesn't happen the way that she expects it to happen, it becomes a problem. They become argumentative, or one of them is becoming distant. It's not our place to fix him, but provide an atmosphere where he's comfortable acknowledging the things that are broken. Do that and help him rebuild. Sometimes all you got to do is hand him the tools. Hand him the tools. Ask him, what part are you working on right now? And what tool do you need in order for that to get fixed? What part do you need, or what tool do you need me to hand you or hold for you when you're ready to receive this tool, so you can fix the part that you are working on? Rob says, yes, some women use that against us to get to us. Absolutely. Ed Terrell, thank you, beloved. And you said the condition of the label men is a stigma from miseducation. Let me start that again. The condition of the label men is a stigma from miseducation has been imposed upon us human beings. Let's see. We are all living souls. Absolutely. Absolutely. And see, that's another thing too, because we forget, some don't realize, some don't realize that we are spirit beings. We are spirit beings we're experiencing the world through a physical, but we are spirit beings. So we have to deal with each other in that manner. But if you don't recognize that, it becomes an issue. You're also saying learn to be a living soul. As men, we have been mislabeled people because what they learn and learn what they become. Indeed. I see you, Miss Shauna. Thank you, love, for being here. I appreciate you. Phoenix, willing. I know it's what you meant. We have to be willing to fix ourselves. Absolutely. Now, here's a problem. Because a lot of you, this is male and female, but because I'm talking to the men, a lot of you are afraid to see your true selves because you recognize, or you know that you're going to see a vulnerability. You're going to see some imperfection. You're going to see what you think society perceives you as. You're going to see that. You have to acknowledge that something is broken. You have to acknowledge where it began. And most men don't realize that a lot of their hurt, a lot of their pain, a lot of their brokenness began with the first woman that they ever had an encounter with. And I'm not talking about that girlfriend in elementary school. I'm talking about the woman that gave him life. He doesn't recognize that, or he doesn't remember that, or he's trying not to focus on that. He doesn't want to put that responsibility on. He doesn't want to do that because why? Is going to cause him to experience what society says he shouldn't be doing in the first place. He's going to feel pain. He's going to express that outwardly in words, and he's going to shed tears. He's going to break down. Society says that is not accept he needs. What trips me out is that when a man is told that he can't cry, that he shouldn't cry, that it makes him less of a man, allow him to be that spirit, man, body, God being that he's supposed to be, is releasing those things, releasing all those things in him that are preventing him from being his highest self. You are taught to go against your nature. You're taught to go against your nature. And a lot of women are encouraging you to stay unnatural, but expecting you to be natural. But the expectation of you being natural in an unnatural state ain't natural. You know what I'm saying? But you get so accustomed to being a certain way. You get accustomed to just being okay. Just being right here. This is what you're used to. And it's not okay. Phoenix says society has domestically... Finish that sentence, loved one, because I want to read it. But that you admit that, kudos. That's strength. A lot of men think that crying is a form of weakness, and it's actually the greatest form of strength. I'm just saying, it's a form of strength. It's if you are able to drop these tears and let go of things that are holding you bondage, let go of those things that are holding you hostage, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, whatever. That gives you strength because that removes certain things and it makes room for other things to come in. It makes room. Now, I did a show, I think almost 2 years ago on iHeart, and my very first show dealt with how to love a melanated man, how to love a black man. And I got a little thrown off on what I needed to say, or the way I wanted to say it. But some information was given at the time, which I received, that was given by another man, and I received that. But what I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, or if you want to add something to it, it's also important for us, for women, to understand his history. You have to love from where his injury began. Let's look at it like that. From where his injury began, you got to start right there. Go to that point. You got to love him from where he's coming from, because that's the only way that he's going to be able to get through it. That point in his life, that part of his, that moment that injury occurred, life as you would like for it to be got hindered. It stopped experiencing things when they were very young in age. 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, very young in age. And even though they've grown up, they've been in other relationships, whatever, they emotionally, psychologically stopped at the point of the injury. So even though they walk around and they look like grown men, they sound like grown men, they do what grown men do, whatever, they have not gotten past the point of the injury. So if something happened to him when he was, let's say, 5 or 6 years old, by a mother or the woman that raised him, if something happened at that point, he didn't forget that. That's still in him. He remembers that, even if he's not, deliberately acting on it. He remembers that. He's still living that. He's living through that, and he sees every woman from that point. Every woman now looks that way to him. If the woman caused him injury, every woman looks the same way to him from that moment of injury. Every woman. So if he is not, if he has not gotten to a point where he has received any type of healing, when he has not been able to acknowledge all of these things, when he's not able to be vulnerable and let this out of him, he'll never heal. That's one of the things too. And we heal once you have been emotionally injured. And the majority said, we don't. Men don't heal. They learn to deal with. And that's not healthy. We have to love our men into healing. How do you do that? Your communication is absolute key. I don't mean you talking. I mean you allowing him to express who he is from the moment of injury. Allow him that space. Allow him to be comfortable in his vulnerability. Have conversation with him without judgment, eyes of somebody that's judging him, or from society. Don't look at him in that way. He's a being. He is a spirit. He needs the same thing you need. He just needs it differently. He needs to know that it's okay to even ask for it. He needs to see you differently than what caused him in any light that resembles anything that he was hurt by. You can chalk it. You will not get him. You may get him physically. You may even get him financially, but emotionally, chalk it. It's not going to happen because you remind him. Didn't Usher make that song, You Remind Me of a Girl That I Once Knew? Y'all know the song. I ain't got to go through all the lyrics. But anyway, it's because this particular woman reminded him of somebody that hurt him, somebody that did him wrong. So he can't deal with that. And he don't even know the girl. She just looked like him, like her. She looked like her. Okay. So again, the beginning begins with the communication and allowing him to be comfortable enough to go back to the moment of injury. And basically, he's going to have to replay what he can remember, replay it out loud. Replay it out loud, because there's power in the words. There's a healing in what's being said for that purpose, but he has to hear it. Basically, he almost has to become his own psychologist. He has to become his own healer, but he has to hear what the problem is, because as long as it's in his head, he doesn't hear it. He can't respond to something that he can't hear. If he speaks it, if he speaks outwardly, he will hear that thing. One of the things that I did several years ago, and I encourage my clients to do it, is record yourself. Record what's going on with you. Use your phone, use a recorder, if they even still make them. But record what's going on with you. Say whatever you need to say If you need to swear, if you need to cry because you're doing this, it's just you. It's just you and the recorder. Record everything as if you were speaking to the party or parties that caused the injury. Say everything you need to say in this recording, and then don't listen to it right away. Wait a week, go back, and then play it, or wait a month, whatever. Then go back and replay it so you can hear it. Don't do it right at that point. Go back and listen to it. That, for me, that helped me. I highly recommend that you do the same. Record what you are feeling, what you're thinking, however that comes out, and play it back for yourself at least a week later. Men, you have to learn. You have to be ready, willing, and able to be your own healer. Women, you have to love him from a level of respect him first. Respect him first. That doesn't mean men look at love differently than women do. Women look at love as, showing this, physical stuff or saying the words on a constant basis or giving her something, whatever. Men look at it from the point of, she respects me. She's allowing me to have my space. She's allowing us to have conversation without it being combative. She's being honest and truthful with me. I don't have to, doubt what she's saying. The way that you love him is the way that he needs it. To help to love him into healing is to give him what he needs. If the man has chicken pox, to help him heal, you wouldn't give him Mylanta. Okay, you wouldn't give him Maalox. You wouldn't give him something for heartburn. You would give him something that cures the problem. You will give him something that fixes what the injury is. Okay, so again, don't assume, don't give him what you want to give him. Give him what he needs. Yes, if you want to call, you can do that. 770-906-5271. Let me put my sound on. Yes, if you want to call, you can do that. 770-906-5271 is the call-in number. So I will be looking for you to do that, Phoenix. Thank you for wanting to. Are there any more questions right now, comments or concerns? Like I said, I see you all that are there. I will acknowledge you. I don't know, my phone is tripping. Hopefully the phone call, will come through. To Miss Carla, I see loved one. Rochelle. Shauna, again, thank you, beloved, for being here. I appreciate you. Deshaun, DJ, what's going on, loved one? Thank you for being here. Victorious Latoya, what's going on, beloved? I appreciate you for being here. Sean Swanee Spraggins, always appreciate you, love. Josh Marley, of course, I apologize for that. But I see you, okay? So I appreciate you all. Again, please feel free to share your comments, your questions. If you have any concerns, specifically men, if you have a story or something that you would like to share that we can address, I'm looking for the questions. I'm looking for your experiences. How we learn is by asking questions. That's why I open my platform up the way that I do. I could talk to you, I could lecture you all day, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to take this call. Let's see who we got here. Great Rise. Can you all hear? Okay, go ahead and speak.
So it was like last year, I was feeling very stressed about myself because the job I used to work at, and for some odd reason, she took the stress away from me. I felt the energy connection, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?" And then I start feeling better about myself.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I'm still like confused to this day. I'm trying to understand it, but I guess that we deal with like abilities and all that, like people of color.
Okay.
You know talk about like we're talking about the Bible and all that. Mm-hmm. I mean,
okay, so
she took the energy away from me because I was really feeling stressed about the job that I used to work at, and she gave me advice. She said, "Join, maybe you shouldn't be working there no more." So I listened to her. I quit the job and I started working somewhere else.
Okay.
Excuse me.
anytime, okay, and that's another thing. People don't pay attention to energy. Energy is everything. It really is everything. You have to pay attention to that. And for her to be in your space at that time and be able to offer you any type of support and encouragement, that's what you needed at that time.
No, she's at college right now. The only time I see her is when she like off the college campus, and then we just talk about like life and the Bible and all that.
Okay. So whatever works for you, as long as she is somebody that can continue to encourage you. But I'm gonna say this to you also, because I don't want you all to get to a point where you are 99% dependent upon a woman to say encouraging things to you, because it might not happen. You know what I'm saying? You might not be in an environment where you are around healthy women who can even offer you that. You have to know how to give it to yourself. Look at yourself as a God body, as a spirit to be honored and recognized. Give that to yourself. That's also a way for you to start healing, is knowing that you have the power, you have the ability and the skill to heal yourself. We all do. But when you look outside of yourself, when you are solely expecting it to come from anywhere other than spirit, I'm not talking about any like a higher power, but when you're looking for it to come from other human beings, you miss it. You deny yourself the opportunity to be your own healer, and you have the ability to do so. So always make sure that you do daily affirmations or whatever. Encourage yourself at all times, regardless to what your situation is, regardless of who's around. Always encourage yourself. Find something, even when it looks like there's nothing. It's always something. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you for calling.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, love. All right, so if anybody else wants to call in, you have any comments you want to share, please feel free to do so. Again, that number is 770-906-5271. My brother Cecil says women have confused combativeness as being a strong woman. What you say? Facts. Absolutely. Okay, so a strong woman also knows when to fall back. I'm a strong woman. A strong woman has to recognize that she is soft. A strong woman has to be quiet. A strong woman has to know when to sit down. I'm just saying, it's a lot of misinformation about being a strong woman. And that happens a lot of times. And that's also a turnoff. I'm going to say this, ladies, for a woman who is so strong to the point that she is competing with him, is a turnoff. Okay, you're not going to get the respect or anything else that you think you need and or want from him if he feels he has to compete with you to be a man. Ain't gonna have comments. No, I didn't miss any comments. So you all feel free, please, if you want to call in, do so. 770-906-5271. You can share your comments if you have any experiences that you want to share. Please do so. I don't know if I've answered the question that I even posted. I think I did, as far as how to heal him. How to love him into healing. And it begins, one, with listening. Listen in your conversation. Listen to him. In listening to him, that means you have to take yourself out of what he could possibly say. It means you have to, what do I always say about your feelings? Y'all know, okay? Get rid of that. It's not about your feelings right now. It's about allowing him the platform, allowing him the opportunity, the space to be who he is, to express what he needs to express. And the only way that's going to happen, one, is you got to be true to yourself. You got to be honest. You got to acknowledge the liar in you. If you're not that person that he can come to and talk to without feeling, without judgment, acknowledge that before you say, well, you can talk to me, because you know damn well he can't. You already know you're not ready for that. You're not open for him to talk to you, to talk with you. You're not open for that. Acknowledge that. If you want him to be open, acknowledge to yourself that you're not ready, and get yourself ready. first and foremost. Get yourself ready before you try to address a man and try to help him help himself, because it's just not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to work. So be honest with yourself. Love him from his history. Love him from the moment of his injury. No, it's not saying that you were there from the moment of his injury, but if you can allow him to walk through it, because he's going to have to relive some things. He's going to have to, because they got to come out. But if he can walk through them with you without the judgment, but if he slips and falls, you got him. If he slips and you're strong enough to catch him before he falls, he'll open up. Be that woman. Be that strong woman that's his backbone, that's his comforter, that's his friend, that's his provider right then. Be that woman. Love him like that. Love him the same way that you would want him to love you. And that's always in truth. The application of truth is love. Do that for him. Do that. Our men, and I mean men in general at this point, are messed up. And some of them are foobarred, okay? And that's fucked up about that. But the reason that that's happening is because they have no support. They have no outlet. They have no allies. That part. They're constant in society. They're fighting at the job. They're fighting family members. Then they got to come home and fight you too. They have no allies. Somebody has got to defend them. Somebody's got to stand up with them. Somebody's got to go to war for them sometimes. Sometimes. They get tired, and we don't acknowledge that. They get tired. Yes, he may be Buck. You know what I'm saying? He may be that. He may be, every man we expect him to be. He may be that, but he's still a being. They get tired. We fail to acknowledge that he's tired. He may have said he's going to take you out and do this, that, and that, but he just got off the job from 18 hours. He's tired. You got to be patient with him as well. You have to give that back. Reciprocity. That energy has to recycle. You can't expect him to give what he doesn't have. That goes both ways. If he's constantly giving out of his cup and there's nothing being put in his cup, when you ask him for a sip and he got nothing for you, don't get mad. Fill up the cup. Give him something to give you back. Reciprocity. Women, we gotta heal. We gotta heal. So in us healing, they heal. I won't say we heal them, but in us healing, we know how to give them what they need. We can give them what they need because we now have it. Too many times we're trying to give him something that we don't even have for ourselves. We can't give that. So we have to heal. We heal. He heals. He heals. We heal. It has to start, though. It has to start in the communication. And again, the communication is not just that you talk. It's understanding what's being said, finding solutions to the problems, going back to the beginning, going back to the basics, finding out what is the soil in, what is it planted in, what's in that soil. Is it deficient of nutrients? Clearly it is. Now, what nutrients does it need? Where do we get these things? How do we start to grow this fruit again? You got to go to the beginning. You got to be willing to dig in that dirt. Be willing to do that. Personally, I am tired of hearing that there's no good men. I'm tired of hearing it. There's plenty good men, but they're injured. These men are injured, and they have nobody that is offering to even find out what is the injury. What hurts you? Where did that come from? What do you need to heal? What do you need to heal? To heal. we don't ask these questions? Do we think to ask I don't even know if people even think to ask these questions. You just looking at what he's doing or what he's not doing and run with that. That's not the answer. That's not what he's doing is not the problem. Why he's doing that is the problem. Find out the why. Find out why he's doing that or why he's not. Go deep into your conversations with him. Go deep into his spirit. We have stopped becoming soul mates. We've stopped becoming spiritual unions. We've stopped that. We've disconnected that. Soul mate is something that's real. Soul ties are real. This is not just somebody, oh, we clicked, we connected. No, become soul mates again. Get in there. Find out who he is. Find out what he came from. Find out what caused him to be where he's at right now. Where does he want to be from this moment? What tool can you hand him right now so he can take hold of that and start to dig out of the dirt? What can you do? How can you help heal a man when most of them are talked to keep to themselves? That's what I'm saying. It's not so much for us to heal him because we can't fix him, but we can be there and hold the tools when he's ready to take hold of the tools and say, this is what I need. But he's not going to do that if he's not comfortable being able to acknowledge that he's even vulnerable. That's what I'm saying. It's not about, I'm going to fix you. I'm going to do this. I'm your healer. It's not that. It's saying, I'm here for you when you are ready. I'm here. I will hold the tools. I want to know what is the issue or what are the issues? Where did you come from? What things happened in your childhood or other relationships that have gotten you to this point? Why do you think the way that you do? Why do you move the way you do? We don't ask these questions. We don't ask. We're not looking for the answer. We're just looking for a response, but we don't ask the questions, which is why he doesn't heal, because nobody has asked him or even acknowledged the fact that he's hurt. You see that he's pissed. You see that he's tripping. He's doing all of that because of something else. Something else happened. What you see, that's a cover-up for what happened before you. But if you don't take the time to give a damn to ask, and not just ask for a basic conversation, ask because you care. Ask because you want to see him heal. Ask because you want to see him at his greatest self. Ask because he deserves to be his greatest self. He deserves to experience himself in his God being. He deserves to have that. He deserves to know what happiness is from a healthy standpoint, not just based on what he has right now. That's not happiness. That's toleration. He can deal with this because this is all he has. This is it. That ain't cool. That ain't fair even. Miss Carla says, if we ask them, he will say, you are nagging me, then I'll have to bite my tongue. No, that's what I'm saying. You don't ask to the point of nagging him, but you ask so he knows that you care. You don't have to keep repeating the question because he heard you. That's another thing. We tend to keep asking the question, tell me, let's talk. Why we can't talk now? I want to talk. See, I'm trying to help you. And he ain't trying to hear all that. He done shut that down right away. It's providing the platform where he's comfortable with doing so. Sometimes it's not even about asking. It's about letting him know that you are available when he's ready to tell you. He has to be secure with you. You don't have to say, okay, well, whenever you're ready to talk, I'm here. If you're there when he's not ready to talk, when he's ready to talk, he'll remember, he'll see you because you've always been there. Your consistency says a lot. how you behave with him when he's low, how you behave with him when he's high, how you behave with him when he's right in the middle. If it stays consistent, he will become more comfortable with you because you ain't doing this. You don't operate in your feelings. You are solely dealing with the facts, dealing with the information that's being provided. If he knows that you are listening to him, that you are talking with him, that you are loving him, all of that from the information, from the facts, from the truth, he will give you that. But this is available. When you are ready, this is available to you without pain, that you are not another person who's going to cause him another injury. Because if he doesn't get over, or if he never heals from the initial injury, he'll carry that forever in every relationship. If he doesn't heal from the initial injury, he will carry it forever. And you will have no idea that that's what's going on. Men, and it's just my thought, y'all can correct me if I'm in error. Men want to be able to express themselves. They want to be able to say, I need help. They want to be able to cry and it not be an issue. They want to be able to be vulnerable with their woman. They want that. They want to be able to be friends with you. They want this, but it's not provided. It's not acceptable. Why? It's not acceptable. Jarrell, I see you, beloved. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. It's not accepted. So, again, loving him into healing starts with your communication with him. And again, it's not you talking to him. It's about you allowing him to speak with you. You opening up that platform for him to be comfortable with expressing whatever it is. If he wants to be goofy, let him be goofy. If he says something that is just totally ridiculous, but he finds it funny, laugh. You know what I'm saying? Give him something. Give him something to be okay with. Our men have got to learn to heal. They've got to learn to heal. And we've got to learn to be able to hold the tools, to offer the tools, to be there patiently when they're ready to say, I need that. Hand it to him. Give him what he needs when he needs it. Don't assume you know. Pay attention to what's being shown you. Pay attention to what he says. Pay attention to what he doesn't say. Because those words say a lot. What he does not say says a lot. It says a lot. I'm going to do this, but I'm doing it. It's going to be the last time because it's the last one. This book right here will relationships, regardless to what it is, whether you're married or not, get it, okay? The Business of Marriage, fuck your feelings, the truth about every relationship. I said it's available on Kindle. I think it's $10 on Kindle. This copy is the only physical copy that I have left. This one is $20. If you want it, you better get it tonight because it just might be gone tomorrow. You can PayPal me, paypal.me/business of marriage. It's $20. It's $22 if I mail it to you. You can Cash App, $ the number one healer. You can send it that way as well. But this is the last one, and I will autograph it for you. So if you want it, get it. I am burning up in here. Anyway, Do you all have any more questions, comments, or concerns? Anybody else want to make a quick phone call? You can. We got a couple more minutes. 770-906. Quick and say anything, because I'm going to wrap up and get out of here before I burn to ashes. You all who have been on here tonight, I thank you all for coming anyway. The ones who have become regulars, I really do. You know what? I have your book, specifically your book, autographed in my car. Like, it's been there since I told you I was going to bring it to you. So we need to work that out, okay? Perhaps tomorrow. Let's work it out. It's sitting there. It's autographed and everything. But yeah, so you got one. Don't you worry about it. Anyway, again, I appreciate you all. And I hope that I was able to answer my own question that I posed out. If you all have any other questions, feel free to ask. You can either do it online. You can inbox me. You have my information. You can do it here, whatever. I appreciate you. I'm going to get off of here because I can't take this heat no more. I know why. Anywho, thank you all again for being here. I will be back. I will be back sometime this week. I got some other things going on that you all might be interested in. I'm actually going to start. I'm going to send out some direct invitations for something else I'm going to be doing, or that I'm doing, matter of fact. But there'll be some direct invitations to a few of you all, and then I'll open it up. Okay. So, having said all that, I will speak with you all soon this week. I love you on purpose, with purpose, and until I see you again, reflect the light. Peace.